This episode is sponsored by CuriosityStream. Get free access to my streaming service Nebula when you sign up for CuriosityStream using my link in the description. Black and white logo is kicking off a whole new Bond tying into the flashback sequence. Yeah. This framing and cinematography, the grain and stark lighting. 4 Dutch tilts in a row shot on actual black and white film, tricking your brain into thinking this is 60s era Bond, directed by Hitchcock. Always making it clear we're not seeing our heroes yet.
If M was so sure I was bent, you just sent a double O.
Lots of efficient storytelling. Dryden works for M, Chekhov's gun in the drawer, Bond isn't a double O yet, as well as what sending a double O implies.
Theatrics are supposed to scare me.
And sadly for Dryden, it's almost as if he doesn't really know who James Bond is.
File shows no kills. 2.
Flashback inside a flashback gets extra grain and overexposure. And clearly this is all new to Bond. It's difficult, as Dryden says.
Made you feel it, did he?
And we're learning everything we need to know about Craig Bond in this flashback section. He's a brutal brawler. Coming off our last Bond, allergic to pepper stew, this was a change of pace. Then our gentleman spies scene gives us a taste of how smart and cool-headed he is. At the same time, setting up the real-life consequences of killing. Not something we often get in this franchise.
You needn't worry. The second is... yes. Considerably.
With some classic, quippy, crispy Bond dialogue. For once, weaving the classic shot down the barrel opening into the story. The blood bringing color into the movie combined with the black and white to complete the playing card scheme. And not since Temple of the Dog has Chris Cornell been a part of such a cool team up. I'm not old, you're old. The title sequence is a classic callback to the 60s and ties the casino and spy motifs together. Oh man. Vesper on the Queen of Hearts, signifying love, turning into the Queen of Spades, which means something to anyone who's played a game of hearts. Hint, Bond confirms later. Shooting holes into the 7 of Hearts to make it 007 and then turning that into the 007 status being confirmed? Come on. Clifford Unger. If anyone had a face made to be a Bond villain. Mads Mikkelsen, the bad guy birth scene right here. You always bid on Ricky Tikki Tavi. Subtle character touches like this, playing it nonchalant until the last possible second. Fun fact, the guy Bond is chasing is Sebastian Foucan, the founder of freerunning. Never acted, plays the part beautifully. Bond smash Shaq! Hardcore parkour! Our first Bond horns of the film. New feel to the movie, still Bond. Add anti-stormtrooper aim to his resume. Ingenuity. Yep, that was real. Done in one cut. Another move away from the more recent Bond was a noticeable lack of CGI, just some wire removal here and there. Even Bond has limitations. Nothing a noggin shake can't fix, though. Yep. Also, yep. Bond smash drywall. And isn't that everything you need to know about Craig Bond? Also this. Badass good guy. I know, it's like his thing, his brand, but after all that chaos to still know what he needs to do? I mean, he even makes a little bunny hop look cool. Hey, it's that one lady from everyone's favorite Ben Affleck movie, Paycheck, who pretended to be Uma Thurman, but then her contact slid, giving away the ruse, kind of like this green screen behind her. Oh no, just me?
Weeping blood comes merely from a derangement of the tear duct, my dear General. Nothing sinister.
It's a super rare condition called hemolacria, so rare I couldn't confirm its pronunciation. But the sinister's all you, Maz. That or you're a vampire from Bonton. Also a cliche dodge, since he didn't need to be told it was happening, as is the rule for anything happening on anyone's face in a movie.
I have 2 pair, and you have a 17.4% chance of making you straight.
The man knows his poker. Eat your heart out, General. Or kidneys or liver or whatever. Hannibal's good either way. The gear and tech aren't a huge part of the job for Craig Bond. Took 3 movies just to get a cue, but we still get bits here and there. This week's CinemaWins English Idiom of the Week is brought to you by Always a Win actress Dame Judi Dench.
You've got a bloody cheek. Have you ever seen such a bunch of self-righteous, arse-covering prigs?
Did I mention Dame Judi Dench is always a win? And why do I insist on using Dame when I'm constantly leaving out the Sir for people like Sir Patrick Stewart and Sir Ian McKellen? Because Dame Judi Dench, that's why.
I thought M was a randomly assigned letter. I had no idea it stood for...
Utter one more syllable and I'll have you killed.
There's still no name, though. You can't fool me with your tight script delivered by accomplished thespians.
This may be too much for a blunt instrument to understand.
M-burn. And I know chemistry usually applies to romantic relationships, but these two play so well together.
Well, I understand double O's have a very short life expectancy.
Never hated the James Bond as just a codename theory. Don't hate that they're playing into it now. Thrilling Bond score, exotic Bond location, Daniel Bond Craig. Now we're moving. Ooh, you get Star Fox on that phone?
Going to take this or make me wait?
Certainly so.
Not even a moment of hesitation. Bond smash car. Ha! Take that, HD DVD. Do you want the format Bond uses or not? What's happening? Horse on the beach? yeah, that's pretty Bond-esque. Daniel Craig's workout routine. Also, the whole Honey Rider and more recent Jinx gender swap thing is kind of awesome, especially given this ultra tasteful yet still stunning shot from earlier. Did he fix sexism?
Please, no. Give him a chance to win his money back.
Some fun exposition without actually expositing. Bond's been kicking his butt so much that he's willing to risk his vintage car. Quiet nudging Bond score underneath it all as the cherry on top of his victory. But I said it was underneath, so it's like a graham cracker crust underneath his victory? A bit that probably only works if you're James Bond. Bond smash room service.
Can I get a bottle of chilled Bollinger Grande and the beluga caviar?
For two?
No, for one.
So is this a hint that Bond was a tad more monogamous prior to Vesper ripping his guts out? Another poor guy who doesn't know who Bond is. Increasing volume of the background chatter reminds us we're in public. Hey, now you can play poker with these guys. A random Richard Branson. Complain about the atypical look of Craig Bond all you want, but I dare you to do so while staring into those baby blues. Changing outfits, causing a distraction, finding a gun in a locker, and stealth kills? Apparently their training regimen is mostly playing Hitman. Come on with that timing. You're gonna get some hop-ons. What was I saying about timing? And this overhead shot? British Ninja Bond. Let's just take a moment to appreciate that this mid-movie action scene is on par with most action movie finales. I mean, what is this? Bond accidental smash? No explosion? Cool. First time for everything. Some stealthy magical cops there. Explosion? Sometimes there are more important things to push in on.
Replacing someone who's playing for a syndicate.
Wait, I could have sworn IMF didn't know about the syndicate yet.
I'm the money.
Every penny of it.
Just me?
I'm the money.
Every penny of it.
The money.
Penny
The
of
money.
penny of
Vesper.
I do hope you gave your parents hell for that.
Subtle dig at the more avant-garde Bond girl names, though the next movie does give us Strawberry Fields.
You see, by the way you ignored the quip about your parents, I'm gonna have to get with Orphan.
And since your first thought about me ran to orphan, that's what I'd say you are.
And why wouldn't he instantly fall in love with her? Someone who can match his wit and intuition, even beat him in his own game?
You are. You think of women as disposable pleasures rather than meaningful pursuits.
I see Vesper's seen a few James Bond films.
How was your lamb?
Skewered. On sympathizers.
Even his concession is another turn of phrase.
James Bond. You'll find the reservation under beach.
And all he gets in return is a name he already has.
And now he knows something about you. He knows you're reckless.
Which, to be fair, would be a good thing for Chiffre to believe. Differ foreshadowing. Wait, is that the guy who tries to screw over Hannibal and then gets thrown over a ledge by Hannibal in the movie Hannibal, not to be confused with the TV show Hannibal? Who wants to bet I don't say Hannibal again?
I need you looking fabulous.
I'd say shoot for, let's say, something like Venus de Milo? Even Craig Bond knows it's better to go full Bond. Another fun touch that Vesper is the one responsible for this look.
There are dinner jackets and dinner jackets. This is the latter.
Based on his smirk, he wants me to think he put Vesper in, or at best Broadchest.
And you're Miss Stephanie Broadchest.
But the closest I can come up with is Tenlip? Just American CIA agent Felix looking around like he needs a drink. Jeffrey Wright is always a win. Is that Tyrone? I remember seeing Maz do this and then spending weeks practicing it until I got really good at it, and now I really still suck at poker.
You know, that's not half bad. I'm gonna have to think up a name for that.
Tenlip Martini? They've been setting it up slowly, and eventually it plays into the overarching big bad in Craig Bond, but it's fun to swap out the infallible top dog villain for a guy who may be a math genius, but is also at the mercy of this world.
Stop touching your ear.
Sorry?
I guess touching your ear isn't the only way to get caught, which is also a cliche dodge. Making out is rarely a foolproof disguise. Not so fast, Jason Bourne. The new, or old JB is here, or back, or wait, how do we make this work? Anyway, there's a sword. Still changing the stakes surrounding death, especially again coming off of Brosnan's Bond, where everyone was used to seeing people die all the time. Minute and a half wonder shows the talent of these two. Finger-licking good talent. Also, fun fact, the script had Ava in her underwear, and Daniel Craig was the one who pointed out that she wouldn't be worried about getting her dress wet right now. Plus, I'm not convinced she owns any. And let's take a moment to appreciate that cliche dodge, where woman goes through trauma, man comforts woman, sex. That ain't real life, and it's made clear that it didn't happen here.
300 grand.
Must not look like anything to Felix.
Oops.
Oh, Mads Mikkelsen is always a win. I may have lost the hand, but you'd still buy a Ford sedan from me. So the Martini order is a classic, obviously taken right from the book. But with these two separate scenes, Craig and our writers inject a new meaning into the character's staple.
3 measures of Gordon's, 1 of vodka, half a measure of quinoa lily, shake it over ice, and then add a thin slice of lemon peel.
Bond's just been beaten, so he takes back some control while showing he's unfazed with a high-maintenance drink order, telling a bartender the correct measurements when that's like what he does. But now we see it was all for show.
Vodka martini. Shaken or stirred? Do I look like I give a damn?
I haven't looked back through, but I'd venture that Bond usually orders the martini within earshot of whoever he's wooing or facing off against. Hey, Jeffrey Wright, have a beautiful beard win. You deserve it. Ooh, cards at the camera transition. I also appreciate that Le Chiffre's tell was real, he just also used it to his advantage earlier. Handheld poison puke cam.
You'll be dead within 2 minutes unless you do exactly what I tell you.
I'm all ears.
Dying Bond, still cool Bond. I'd seen this movie at least 4 times, and this scene is still so freaking tense. A testament to the camera work, quick cuts, Bond's dying performance, as well as the people trying to keep him alive. Oops. Stephanie Broadchest to the rescue.
You okay?
Hey?
What a gentleman. His first concern after being resurrected is if Vesper's feeling okay.
I'm sorry. That last hand nearly killed me.
Oh, that delivery! How is every line in this movie the best line? Okay, let's talk about this hand. Poker experts will tell you why the players shouldn't have been in it in the first place, and everything about it is like 1 in a billion odds. But it's still elegantly designed and planned. Everyone has a pretty good hand, each of which is dependent on the aces on the table, except for Bond. He has 2 low cards, but anyone paying attention can see the straight flush hiding in plain sight. Wait, did he just tip the dealer $500,000? I get that they're tournament chips, but the pot seems to represent the actual value of the winnings. Are the dealers at high-stakes poker games all millionaires? His response means it was essentially expected.
You know, I think I'll call that a Vesper.
Smooth?
Mathis.
Just to clear this up, Bond mistakenly assumed it had to be Mathis that let Le Chiffre know Bond knew his tell, but that was because he implicitly trusted Vesper, and in reality, she was probably the one who told Quantum who told Le Chiffre. Starting with this super fast fly over the edge of the car like the camera's trying to get out of Bond's way, this is again another action set piece that sticks with you. Mostly because of this insane, oh my gosh, I thought I was watching a James Bond movie moment, where the Casino Royale stunt team accidentally set the world record for most cannon rolls in a car. That brief moment of bliss before you know exactly what the chair was for?
You've taken good care of your buddy.
Yeah, we already talked about that. Weren't you paying attention? Nah.
I never understood all these elaborate tortures.
Yeah, that makes sense coming from Polar. That's his name, right? Hitman Polar guy?
No! To the right! To the right!
Oh, that slip from fake agony to laughter.
Now the whole world's gonna know that you died scratching my balls!
I'll feed you what you seem not to value.
And you thought the Hannibal references didn't have a point. Ha! It's this. Le Chiffre likes cannibalism too. Mr. White to the rescue! Good thing. Bond was about to lose more than an ear. And as sad as I am that Maz goes out so quickly, killing all we know of the big bad pretty unceremoniously confirms that no one is safe. Comeuppance, unwarranted comeuppance, but we didn't know yet.
I can't resist waking you. Every time I do, you look at me as if you haven't seen me in years.
That fine line between cutesy and abusive.
If you'd just been born, wouldn't you be naked?
Astute observations.
Does this mean that you're warming to me?
That's how I would describe it.
I'm trying to think of a better word than loathing.
At least he sort of acknowledges that she's definitely honeypotting him.
You didn't bring any chocolates with you? I'm afraid not.
Okay, give this dude a spin-off movie.
V-E-S-P-E-R.
It's all a bit over-the-top schmaltzy and a tad fast, but honestly, Craig and Green still sell it, and I'm buying it.
I have no armor left. I'm yours. I thought he had my back. But there you go. Lesson learned.
About that.
And there won't be any soul left to salvage. I'm leaving with what little I have left. Is that enough for you?
Oof, that one stings knowing the future. Knowing that post-Vesper Bond sees himself as soulless. Book readers knew right away. Well, actually, I guess we probably all did. Sorry, but atypical eyes make you a Bond baddie.
To realize sometimes you can forget the past.
Oof, double entendre. And I'm so happy they get to live happily ever after. They've earned it.
Wondering if you're ever going to deposit the winnings.
Slow zoom realization. Splinter Cell Bond.
Allow me.
Can't say she didn't have it coming. I think Bond's greatest skill is the ability to always have some pressurized thing to shoot at. Where are the Mini Coopers? Is that later? Wrong remake? Brutal. Nailed it. An improvement over the book version while still honoring the original. Less clear cut, no one knows what to do at this point, and I feel it. This sequence will crush your soul. Wins all around for the underwater photography and believable performances. Here's the thing, there was such an easy out and one-liner here when she woke up. Now we're even. But in seemingly another direct response to the previous Bond girl's drowning, Bond Rebushin is letting us know up front it's different.
At least this clears Mathis.
No.
No?
No.
I honestly think at this point Bond knows that's not true, but cold-blooded Bond is here for a bit.
You don't trust anyone, do you, James?
No.
Then you've learnt your lesson.
We thought the opening black and white was the Bond origin we'd never seen before, but little did we know that all of Casino Royale was the actual origin. Never trusting, never opening up, no more getting close. He went from in love to betrayed to lost love in like 24 hours.
Betrayal's gone cold.
Hi, I'm Bond, James Bond. Have we met?
Who is this?
Finally, a happy ending. Prepare to spend 2 years in a trunk.
The name's Bond. James Bond.
Yep. See what I mean about the origin thing? Somehow they made it not only okay, but also cool for Bond to be holding a rifle rather than a P99 or a PPK. Badass good guy. Casino Royale is about James Bond. Obviously, right? But no, Bond films have often been more about the villain. We get there in this series, but Casino Royale is Bond's film. I mean, we don't even get the full Bond score until he says his name. We get to know Beta Bond 1.0. Everything Vesper says about him is true. He's reckless, he lets his ego get in the way. I mean, if it weren't for Yankee Doodle Felix, Bond would have killed the Chiffre out of spite. We see the formation of his character and we learn why he is the way he is. Whether we buy the love story or not, Bond believed it, which is ultimately a testament to Vesper's skill. Did she have feelings? Probably, but she knew there was no happily ever after for them, whether Bond won or lost the game. So after all is said and done, Bond has to live with the knowledge that he got tricked so severely he essentially turned his back on his life. That's bound to leave a mark. That's not even mentioning that Bond does something very un-Bond in Casino Royale, and it's a direct result of trusting/mistrusting the wrong people. He loses. A Bond staple is that he's usually a few steps ahead and has a contingency, but he's done for when Le Chiffre finally realizes Bond's not giving up the password. Mr. White and some dumb luck save Bond. Dumb luck that Vesper loved him enough or had enough compassion/sympathy to bargain for his life. Again, he won't let this happen again. And then he loses again, hard, when he just can't get Vesper out in time. So a lot of Bond's origin for this reboot is breaking him down and showing him fail. It's definitely a different tone than a lot of the previous Bond films. Still, the entire movie has an old world feel to it. It's shot on film, the stunts are primarily practical, high-class sets and locations, crossfades uses scene transitions, even the romantic lighting feels like a film out of time. Yet the entire franchise is updated right before our eyes. Even some of the most baked-in tropes are flipped. It's one of the main reasons Daniel Craig, who had no interest in playing Bond, agreed to sign on. And the entire cast is phenomenal. It's worth pointing out that Craig shut down the doubters with his performance. Regardless of how he feels about the role at this point, he revitalized the character. I talked about how Maz sealed his fate as a baddie with a few looks, but the dude has range. He can play bad guy, he can play good guy, he can play whatever you want to call him in Polar and Valhalla Rising. And then, Ava Green. I think we all fell in love with Vesper a little. I buy that Ava matches wits with James Bond, making her the betrayer that launched 1,000 one-night stands, yet you still sympathize with her? She was so good, her death is really the only reset I wish we could have. I honestly wouldn't change it, it offered finality to this origin. And really, how crazy is it that there is a minimum of 3 distinct acts to this movie, yet it's really only the beginning, only the first act of the larger story? So often, Casino Royale gets compared to Bourne. Heck, I did it in this video. But I think the point is sometimes missed. Casino Royale isn't dark and gritty Bond because of handhelds, brawling, quick-cutting action, although it doesn't hurt. But it's really these moments that ground us to reality. Watching Vesper witness the truth behind the cufflinks and martinis. We feel the pain of death. We're even surprised by Bond's actions occasionally. This might be my favorite Bond movie, but I say that to all the girls when I just spent a week writing an in-depth video about all the things I love about them. And if you want to see me and a bunch of other fantastic creators talk about more things we love without pre-roll ads, you should go check out my streaming platform Nebula, built by creators for fans to support creators. Genuinely, we made it. And something I think you'd all be interested in right now is a brand new original from Dave Wiskus all about Iron Man's glasses. Seriously, you may not have noticed, but Tony Stark wears a crap ton of different shades throughout the MCU, and Dave thinks that's pretty rad. It's a fun walk down MCU memory lane through the lens of sunglasses. Also, the working titles of Parks and Rec and Gravity Falls are up right now. I just added a new working titles of my own to our internal schedule, so that will be coming soon. And to get access to all that amazingness for free, all you have to do is sign up for Curiosity Stream with my link in the description. When you do, you get a full month of Curiosity Stream for free. Then it's only $2.99 a month after that. And if you don't know, Curiosity Stream has tons of documentaries and nonfiction titles. Last time I recommended a film about dinosaurs, and this time for something completely different. Ice Age Giants. I'm super into prehistory. I can't help it. So check out my link at the top of the description. There's so much amazing content between both our services. Thanks for watching, and here's a teaser frame for next week.